What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you the next up-and-coming video where we focus on not the high end of the spectrum, like maxed out Town Hall 9s and things like that. More so low to mid, getting started in the 3-star world and the war world as well. So let's take a look at the first one, which is a 10 versus 10.5. This was a max 40-41. 6. So yeah, I hate these bases only because of my baby Royals 2025. This is a cleanup, so I knew what was in the CC. For the use of a haste, I was able to get the lure and 4 defenses, and then knowing what was in there, which was all minions and one loon, drag them to the left, and then for basically about, what is that? So it's for 25 troop space and 2 spells, poison and a haste. I was able to get 4 defenses in the CC. Just dragging them in there. Kind of dirty, but that's alright because I like it dirty. I realize that they don't go down and I'm a little bit freaked out. I'm like, okay, well I need this to go down, and that's why I have the extra wizard for that. So the wizard also was going to go down here anyway to get the funnel started for my Valkyries. Going 1 golem, walking by herself. I did want the queen to join up on the army, and my goal really is a double with a chance for 3. That's always what I do. Unfortunately, for those of you that are Town Hall 10s in your clan, that you are the only Town Hall 10, or that your options are limited, you got to think that way. Because if you fail going for a 3 and you get 0 or 1 star, that's huge. It's huge. I mean, there's a lot. You have to know your roles. So this is so what I kind of commonly do is look for 2 with a chance for 3. Queen walk went behind the golem, went exactly the plan, except she kept walking to the right. The rest of the raid I was happy with. Got the Valkyries down first to tank and take up some infernal streams for my bowlers. Heal them down. I think that freeze probably was way too early. I probably want to drop it down right now. And I possibly would have got that infernal tower as well. But got it late. Could have saved some more bowlers. Got baby dragons for the cleanups on the bottom. Queen being wounded and ability already used. She was no match for that level 41 queen. But at this point, the objective was complete. So pretty happy with that. And I hope those talking points were helpful for you should you be in a similar situation in your clan, being a solo Town Hall 10, things like that. So Valkyrie bowler combinations work great. My advice is always think for 2 with a chance for 3 if you're in that boat. Let's go down to number 6. Who does number 2 work for? So look at the army composition, right? 2 skeleton spells, and I'm like, bro, just bring the 3rd one and take down an air defense. But they're not for the air defense, they're for the queen. And I like how he does this. So we got both bows to ground. And the layout is a the sweepers are really not that much of a factor, but he just lallows it in like old school farming Lalunian. And then queen, his royals for cleanup. But those Larry spells are for the queen. Look at that. The Larry spells are for the queen while she's distracted on the hounds, and they zoom right by. So I thought that was really clever use of the spells. And his hound lasts all the way down to the end. Just perfect. All the hounds bust. There's loot pups for days everywhere. He's got 1 archer at that top, so he didn't leave anything behind. Just one of the most beautiful raids I've seen in a while. Just because of having pups all over the place like that with the loons scattered everywhere. It's just, you look at that and you're just like, oh, it's like fireworks. It's like, oh, pretty. So nice job, number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Really nice attack. And use of that skeleton spell to be flexible and customizing your raid with that. We'll get out of here. It was a penta. Let's go down to number 7, which was Sarvit. Somebody asked, like, how do you do this if the Suicide Royal, if the Queen and CC are towards the core? Well, you don't do a Suicide Royal. You do a Cold Blood. Especially if the air defense is closely aligned. So the Queen's going to jump into this no matter what. And the CC line comes out to the Wizard Tower. So if you do a Cold Blood entry, I guarantee that you'll get at least that sweeper, which is the if you come, you'll see what happens. I'll leave that up. So he does a cold blood entry. Great use of a ice wizard. Brings down some giants to ensure that his wall breakers make it to the wall. Because if your wall breaker fails here, it's going to be really tough to get in. Strong funnel. Poison down for the CC and the AQ. And then there it is. So rage goes down for whatever wizards are left remaining. The golem and the royal specifically is what that rage is for. CC's done. Queen is done. And he's already working on Town Hall. And there's the sweeper is done. So now the sweepers are completely out of the question. And he lallows a nice little L shape. That's exactly how he's going to do it, starting with this one. Double stacking that first air defense. Another reason that you want to double stack it is that it's covered by another air defense. And he leads with the Max Hound. Uses a haste to zoom them past to where they need to be. And then heals them down to because it's not going exactly as planned. I don't think he double stacked that first hound, and that was the reason. You always want to double stack that first air defense. And then send that third hound a lot sooner. So we go to ×2. Really nice. But at this point, he has 2 for the back end and a hound tanking for his loons coming in. And there's enough of them to swarm. Plus the queen's still up. Really nice job. Go to ×4 for this. And then let's go out of here and down to number 10. Shout out to Excellence Before You. It was a really, really close war and hard fought. We were down. We won this war 72 to 68, but we were actually behind. They had 2 10.5, so they had 4 attacks with Town Hall 11 armies. We had 0 with Town Hall 11 armies. Let's go down to number 10. We got Maria Osawa. And I think this base is One Hive Genesis. Bisectatron's base. Trying to be anti-Lalo. I think it is. Which is, I believe it is. So that's why I decided to show this base. Because I've also Lalo'd it. Is it effective? Sure. I mean, funky air defense is always effective. You know, the things that he talked about in his video are good points. But it kind of goes back to other sayings out there that just because something is anti-whatever doesn't mean that it's going to stop all the attacks behind a skilled attacker. So gets the queen gets one of the 4 air defense, and then she's by herself, and we have Larry's for the ending portion because, if you can get, let's just watch the raid. You'll just see it. We'll just watch it. So haste at the right spots. And he's got a Waterloo's heading. Three hounds heading towards that last air defense. But this queen here is sniping some loons. And that's what he brought his Larry's for. But he was careful to make sure that he dropped the Larry's while she, the queen, was outside of the range of that mortar. Had that queen stayed by her altar, and then he dropped the Larry spell there, that mortar would have thwarted that attempt. And the queen still would have been up and sniped out a lot of his attempts. So nice job recognizing that and how to use that Larry spell on the fly mid-attack, which is really nice. We go to ×4 for this. Nice job, Maria Osawa, a.k.a. Eli. But I'm still going to call you Maria if you're using this account. We'll go down to 21. Because the rest of the 9s, they really were not worth showing. Base designs and levels and whatever. So there was also mirror Town Hall 8s. There was 2 bases exactly like this. You never want to do that in war. Never mirror the same base. And the reason why is once it's cleared, the person's going to mirror that exact same attack on the other base. You just can't do that. You can't have 2 same shell designs and things like that in war. So this was my Town Hall 8 doing technically a hog swarm, but what I recognized here is I need to create a defensive funnel breaker and get a lure. So for the investment of 4 hogs and 2 loons, I'm able to get away 4 defenses and get the CC lure to be handled here in the corner. At Town Hall 8, I won't even finish that comment because it is irrelevant to Dragoon attacks where you have 4 cornered huts. But there is the remaining. There is a well hidden, not hidden, because that test. Obviously this is where the parallel DGB is going to be. But it's hard to get out pre-trip without a heavy investment of hogs. So I figured if I could just path my hogs smartly around them. And also lean with my hog deployment. I lean them on a side rather than going directly at a defense, so that they don't, so that they avoid spring traps on their way through. But yeah, it gets pretty close. At least the other raid did. Where I'm clipping one of them. I knew there was another one there, and you'll see that it gets pretty close towards the end because they do have to go to the altar. Clean up troops down early. Nothing stops a hog swarm at Town Hall 8, man. I'm telling you, nothing does. So we'll go down to ×4. You'll see how close it was. I did have a super tight butthole moment right here. I was like, oh my god, please don't all die. But they can sustain through one giant bomb, and they did. And that was that. Even if they didn't, I had enough cleanup troops and time on the map to get over there to get it anyway, because this wall was broken open. But that'll do it for this up-and-coming video. Hopefully those talking points and tips were helpful for you. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and I will check you next time.